A special ancient Nord sword is getting a rework to make it more, unique and definitely not like any other ancient Nord sword. Here we have Ghostblade, truly unique. Available in 2K and 4K, Ghostblade comes with its own model and animated effects, enhancing its spectral form. It also comes with custom sound effects that fit the ghostly theme, living up to its truly unique title. As expected, this mod also features new abilities to spice things up. Ghostblade introduces a new enchantment called Phantom Strike. Your attacks with Ghostblade ignores resistances and deal raw magic damage. Enemies who are already weak against magic damage are bound to get hit harder with this weapon, and those with magic resistances are going to be mad as hell. Not only does it give you raw magic damage, it also applies weakness to enemies hit, making them deal less damage. Here's a tier list of damage and weakness applied to enemies depending on your enchanting level. Speaking of which, this weapon cannot be disenchanted. Killing an enemy affected by Phantom Strike grants you the Spectral Aura. Spectral Aura turns you into half a Spectre, ignoring 50% of enemies' damage resistance with your attacks and gaining a 25% chance of ignoring attacks yourself. Killing an enemy affected by Phantom Strike while Spectral Aura is active will initiate Spectral Dominion. This ability turns you into a full-on Spectre, completely ignoring enemies' damage resistance and attacks, and adds a fall damage immunity, basically turning you invincible for 10 seconds so you can wipe them out easily. Killing enemies while Spectral Dominion is active has a chance of giving you an ectoplasm, which is used in making potions and tempering the Ghostblade, so killing is definitely a way to make this weapon stronger. If you don't feel like swinging a sword and you want to use a different weapon or spells, you can give this weapon to a follower and the abilities from the Ghostblade will work on them as well. If you're worried about the sword being too OP or extra, don't be, because there's a model replacer only option and even a debuff hotfix to lower the damage and adjust more stats. Enough yapping about it, it's time for you to download and claim the sword for your next playthrough. Staves have always been underwhelming, but there's this mod that will change things up and add more utility to Conjuration, and that is with Dreadbinder Relic Conjuration Staff. Dreadbinder comes with its own amazing model, textures, and a unique set of abilities. The staff has two passives, which will be enabled even with just having this in your inventory, no need to equip it. First passive gives a 30% magic cost reduction to Conjuration spells, which is honestly a really good thing. Since they cost a lot, they usually leave you open to attacks after casting. Second passive automatically soul traps who or whatever you kill, with the exception of dragons and other shit that cannot be soul trapped. This fills the appropriate soul gems in your inventory and regenerates health and magicka, depending on the soul captured. If you don't have the right gems or don't have any to begin with, you will release what is called a Soul Burst, which deals 30 damage over 2 seconds to enemies within a 30 feet radius. The ultimate ability is called Mass Reanimation. This raises the cap from only reanimating or summoning one creature at a time into 100. Now that's some good shit. Note that even rabbits, skeevers, all that stuff will be affected, so it might affect your frame rate, depending on how many have been reanimated, of course. This ability has no cooldown but needs the staff to be recharged on every use, and this requires 5 Grand Souls. High cost but very effective when dealing with waves of enemies or if you just feel like flaunting your skills in necromancy after destroying an entire city. Having the Twin Souls perk activated will stack and raise the cap from 100 to 101. If Pieces needed to craft a Dreadbinder are placed on specific spots in Soulcairn, so this can be acquired while you're completing the Dawnguard questline, which would make a great reward, honestly, for solving the vampire bullshit. There's an article on the mod page which offers more information on where the pieces are located, so take a look. Next mod we're gonna look at is a redesign of the Sigil Stone, a quest item that will pop up when reaching level 90 and above in Conjuration. Here we have Kanjs' Sigil Stone animated. Offering 1, 2, and 4K options, this will make the Sigil Stone look more awesome and like something that really did come from an Oblivion Gate. This one has multiple installation options, from animated with pulse, no pulsing, and just static. If you're not feeling the new look, there are also options for fixed vanilla meshes and upscale textures. Both can be used at the same time for a scrumptious display. Scrumptious. Also definitely related to magic, we're going for another redesign, but for spell tomes this time. This video is totally in favor of the mages. From looking crusty to majestic, we're gonna look at DDV, Vergi SpellBooks replacement. Coming right in with 2K textures, with 1K down in the optional files, this will probably make you want to keep spell tomes instead of eating them to learn magic. New mesh for the covers has been made with their own textures that make them feel more fantasy-like compared to the original design. The pages, however, are not part of the redesign and are still vanilla. You might want to try and pair this mod with others that retexture spell tome pages, like Skyland Bits and Bobs.